Our first guest speaker tonight is Pinellas County Public Defender Bob Dillinger.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you all on this fine evening? It's fine for us. It's unfortunately not very good for what happened to Gabriel. But let me talk to you a little bit about foster children. Foster children are victims. They are children who have been abandoned, abused, or neglected. Unfortunately, Gabriel was all three of those. He was abandoned, he was sexually abused, physically abused, and abandoned by age 7. Think of that. He was in the care of the state of Florida. The state of Florida was supposed to be acting as his parent. And what unfortunately happens in the state of Florida when children act out, and when children are abandoned, abused, or neglected, they tend to act out. They have anger issues. What does the state of Florida do? Do they give them treatment for anger management? Do they try to teach them how to cope with their situation? No. They medicate them. Gabriel had 3 psychotropic medications in him when he died. 3. Age 7. That's unconscionable in this state and this time of our country. We have a duty to protect these children. And this is not an isolated case. In the United States, the average percentage of children that are on psychotropic medications is 5%. In Florida, it's 15%. So you can see how we are handling the children in our state, who we as a state are supposed to be their parents, and these children have been abandoned, abused, or neglected. They are victims. My office has the opportunity to represent dependent children at various times, and we unfortunately run into the situation where guardian ad litems take these children to a doctor's office to see what can be done because they are acting out. They may hit another child in foster care. And you know how long a doctor spends with them before they prescribe psychotropic medications? Less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes to put 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds on very powerful psychotropic medications that have never been tested on children. None of these drugs are tested on children because while we won't allow the drug companies to test children, we'll allow them to sell them to the state to give to the children. Does that sound right to you?
No.
So I hope we can all speak out that when Florida has 3 times the number of dependent children on psychotropic medications, there's something wrong. There's also something wrong in that those medications are expensive, quite expensive. And Florida ranks 49th in the nation on our per capita spending on abandoned, abused, and neglected children. We need to get our priorities straight. We need to help these children. When children age out of foster care, within 3 years, 25% are homeless and 25% are in prison. So we need to do something to help these foster children, and I hope you all will help. We need to stop medicating children that need help. They need coping skills. They don't need drugs. They need help. And I hope that you will go out and work in this community to make our foster children no longer victims. Victims of the pharmaceutical companies, victims of the doctors who are making money off of it, or victims from the community. They should not be abandoned, abused, or neglected, and they certainly shouldn't have that happen to them by the state of Florida. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, and I hope that starting tomorrow you do something to help the foster children. Thank you.